Hello everybody, welcome back to Series 2 of the final night of this week of VCS action. I'm Everyday, with me is Yulwei, and judging on how this week has gone, EVOS is about to 2-0, right?
Yeah, it's upset week. I didn't know it was upset week when we started the week, but it definitely was. We had some absolutely crazy results. Of course, DBL suddenly winning twice this week. Then we had Flash almost losing to FTV yesterday, right?
Yep.
We had TS getting stomped for some reason. Now VGA 2-0 Cerberus, so everything is upside down, and GAM will lose to EVOS.
Yeah.
Not apparently that's what's going to happen. Also, we have to always question: is it Kiaya playing or Zeros playing? And it seems to be Kiaya for game one.
Like Kiaya.
That's good to see.
Good.
Yep.
Put Kiaya in for game one, so I like that. You don't need to give Zeros that many games. He's not actually going to be your guy going forward. And it's Kiaya. He's looking like the best top laner in the league. So why are you subbing him out?
Yep. So Zeros, of course, came back last week with I played one game of set and looked quite good. But I agree with your sentiment that Kiaya should be the guy you want to develop to move forward. Zeros is only here temporarily. He's not intending on staying at GAM, so it doesn't really make sense to give him a lot of time. So
I hate to cut you off, but someone in chat has just said something horrible, and I hope you're wrong. But one is not in the mid lane.
What?
Don't tell me that's happening. You're lying, chat.
Hopefully they are. The first game went. The first two yesterday went to VGA. They 2-0 Cerberus, their first ever 2-0 in the VCS. So once again, congratulations. Very surprising. Also, now Cerberus in a very bad position. And it is but one in the mid lane for EVOS. So
yep, as we are straight into champion select, as my microphone gets attacked by a very upset bird. Good, he's been such a shit all day. He attacked a vet for 2 hours.
Oh man.
But we are in. We're going to see why is but one in the mid lane.
So I mean, you're facing DR1, so you have to respond with 3 lanes as well.
Yeah,
makes sense, right? So, I mean, to be fair, Parker has had some very, very bad weeks. His Orianna performance is probably the worst Orianna in professional play I've seen in a very long time, missing every single ultimate.
True. The ban's coming in. Vlad being removed from Hero can actually have to show something a little bit more exciting. Pantheon Elise and the Zaya. So far, it's all pretty much target bans from GAM. Definitely not tier list bans.
Yeah, they are blue side, so they can do that.
Yep.
Will the Ornband come in here? Kiaya has shown us a little bit of on before. GAM is one of the teams that doesn't need to pick on.
Still probably pick on.
Should probably still pick on, especially as his favorite champ set is banned out, so the counter match is not available. But of course, Senna is is there as well.
Yeah, I like that actually.
Senna first pick, very strong. On Senna, a lot of pros are debating between the two, which of the two is stronger. Some say Senna, some say On. It's definitely high up in the tier list, but Aphelios is still here, so you could respond with On Aphelios.
Yeah, I think the Senna edges out in GAM's particular situation because Blazers hasn't really shown himself as being super great mechanically. Senna doesn't really require too many mechanics when it's the fasting Senna. And are they going to pick Tristana before Aphelios? Is but one going to try and challenge DR1?
Apparently is. Or maybe DivKid will try to send Tristana. Tristana suddenly...
If that's a Tristana bot, that's inting.
Yeah. Tristana suddenly a pick ban champ and mostly played in mid lane. We have seen one game Hasmid Tristana top lane, but almost everything else was mid lane Tristana and very successfully played by many, many people, which is interesting. Tristana suddenly, out of absolutely nowhere, is now high priority pick.
Yep.
Tom Kench followed up by GAM, of course, Senna Tom Kench, so no pick away on the Tom Kench. They could actually pick Tahm Kench here to deny the Senna Tahm Kench, but there are other possible duels.
I don't like Tahm Kench is probably the best partner for the fasting Senna. In fact, not probably, he is. But there are others. I mean, there's Galio, which being Hubbard is a pick. Nope, Tier 1 will go to Lucian. Do we have any carries fighting it in the mid lane?
Yeah, as always. I mean, that's where they belong, right?
Yeah, totally. Mages in the bot lane, mid lane.
Where Lucian and Tristana fight all the time.
we season 1, boys. Mid lane ADCs.
Where's
Jace
Ashe
being
mid lane?
Hubbard. Oh dear.
Wait, where's this Ashe, this Jace supposed to go? Yeah, I think that was just but one hovering his favorite champ or something, so not happening.
Good. Don't lock it in. Rek'Sai, that's a pretty good pick. I'm surprised Thorn didn't go for J4. Open. Thorn has had an incredible split on the Jarvan. Jarvan is still a strong champion on 10-4, but goes for the Rek'Sai instead.
Yeah, first Rek'Sai game of the split actually for Thorn.
Potentially block a Levi Lee Sin. And if they ban 2 junglers, maybe Lee Sin... Wow. I can't talk. Levi has to... Lee Sin... He's a player. No, Levi has to reach deep into the champ pool, but Levi's got an ocean. So...
Yeah. And I have to say, I really don't like Rek'Sai into what is already shown now. They're showing on GAM's side. Rek'Sai into Tahm Kench, meh. And everything else will get gobbled up by Tahm Kench. Rek'Sai into Lucian, very hard to make work, so a little bit of surprise in the jungle. Also, now topside is very AD heavy, so quite easy to itemize against, especially for the Tahm Kench. DivKit might have to go for a mage in the bot lane. Syndra is still open, so that's a possibility.
Yep. Shyvana copying another ban.
Yep. The mage Shyvana, of course, played by Levi twice already, I think. 2 times. And 2 wins. Has found a lot of success in the VCS. It's actually a meta pick now. As crazy as that sounds, Shyvana in the VCS is actually not a troll pick. Sitting on a very high win rate, and yeah.
Lost 1 game, I think. Got like an 86% win rate or something.
Yeah,
insane.
The 1 game was in Kuroko, and he almost won. So yeah, it's very close. I like that. This is an interesting Karma pick.
So this
here.
is Tristana
can
bot.
Still go mid lane. It could be support Karma still, so it's a little bit of flexibility. We've seen some support Karma, most of the time paired up with Ezreal, which would be a good composition for EVOS as well. Don't go Mordekaiser, please.
This seems unnecessary. Put Kiaya on something a bit stronger, and they lock it in.
GAM really wants to follow the upset trend here, drafting themselves in a very weak position.
I don't think they're drafting in a weak position. They've got the fasting center and Tier 1 solution. The Mordekaiser is weird.
That's fair.
But I think the rest are okay.
Oh yes, now I like the draft. Come on.
Silas?
Pick the Silas. No.
Levi Kiana. I'm okay with
Levi's allowed to do that. Yeah, the Ezreal is very much anticipated, as I touched on before. Ezreal Karma, very strong bot lane duo, very safe, scales well, good poke. Yeah, there we go.
Yep.
Thank you, EVOS. For once, you actually pick what I anticipate.
As I said, you need to go out and buy like a real... you've got a pretty colourful jumper on at the moment, so you can actually do some colour casting, because the VCS is not making that job easy for you. They don't make sense.
Yep, it's very true. So, what do we have for GAM? Very strong lanes. The fasting Senna into Ezreal should be fine. It's a little bit annoying to deal with. Actually, can be hard for Blazes to get a lot of stacks in this lane, because of course Karma and Ezreal are quite long range. So Blazes needs to work the extra mile, or put in extra work to get more stacks than normal. We have Illusion against Tristana mid lane. We've seen this matchup before. Usually Tristana gets the edge, but this time it's Dia 1 against Bot 1. So considering player skill, I'd give the edge to Dia 1.
Yep, absolutely.
And then Mordekaiser into Ornn. Very boring lane. Big advantages for Mordekaiser, of course, but Ornn should never die.
Yeah, Ornn should definitely never die.
Actually, Level 6 on can die. I think.
But it is the
Wait,
Tristana
why?
top.
That
I
is
think
so
I
weird.
don't think they'll play those lanes. I think they'll swap.
Yeah, you think TH will play mid lane? Yeah, it's
Yeah,
possible.
but one's a top laner, so
Yeah, it's true. But one on the top lane champ. But On will hard lose. Okay, I guess On hard loses any matchup, and Tristana is going to be able to punish the Mordekaiser. Today, actually, Mordekaiser and Mordekais. Very good. I'm not quite sure how I think what I think about this swap. It can work out in EVOS's favor. I think it's more risk and a little bit more reward as well if you go for the swap. But it seems like TH, as you anticipated or as you touched upon, is going to head towards mid lane. So it's just the two top laners swapping positions, and let's hope that the observers do the same because
they will. They're normally pretty on track with that. The Vietnamese observers.
Yeah, that's very true.
The question becomes, why have they brought but one in to play the mid lane? He looked horrible when he played top. Like, there must be someone sick.
Yeah, but one is in competition in contention for first top region.
Is it even a competition?
For sure.
It's pretty
It's he wasn't great on EVOS the second half of the summer split. He was, I wouldn't say he was the worst top laner. I think Cerberus' top laner struggled a lot last year. We also had TH with some very int games on QTV. So I'd say he was definitely one of the worst last split, and the one game he played this split looked absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
So
he pretty much solo lost them a game. So
yeah,
definitely not ideal. As both junglers starting on opposite sides of the map here could get vertical jungling, but not sure. We'll have to see.
I also want to touch on some of the bot lane configurations here. DivKid with a very defensive scaling setup with a flash barrier, no teleport. Usually into fasting center as Ezreal, I say usually, but it's like it's pretty common. It's not like the only choice, but a lot of people like to go teleport to have cheater recalls available, a little bit more movement around the map, maybe play in the top lane as well possible.
Absolutely.
This time they go with the you can't dive us setup, which is heal and barrier. Which, I mean, it makes sense against GAM. GAM's favorite play this split has been 4 minutes, 5-man bot lane. Let's go. So, yep, not very likely with the fasting center matchup, but can still happen.
I mean, it's GAM. It's GAM. I mean, maybe they won't do it at 4 minutes. They'll do it around level 6 if they can get to level 6 Lucian and Levi. That's still pretty spooky. Definitely hard to lock DivKid down. It's an Ezreal. But, B doesn't really have any mobility. Obviously, Karma has lots of defenses, but possible. They could also go top. Sometimes they do flip the screens upside down. They do the Australian GAM playstyle.
Also, another small little interesting thing about DivKid, he went with the Conqueror. It's not the number 1 rune for Ezreal. Most Ezreals like to go
it, personally.
Yeah?
I think it's better.
I think Conqueror and Lethal Tempo both have their place. Both are quite good in Ezreal. Conqueror is more about, I'd say, amplifying your Q and having a little bit more burst damage with your abilities as well, while Lethal Tempo about tank shredding, more about consistent auto attack damage.
Yeah, and I think
you need to play Ezreal a little bit differently if you play Lethal Tempo, while Conqueror is more of the old Ezreal feeling, just with a little bit more damage. So
I think that makes sense into this comp from DivKid. I completely agree. There's definitely times to pick the Lethal Tempo, particularly if you're up against the Ornn. But with the Ornn on your team, no real tank from the side of GAM. Obviously, Mordekaiser will get a bit beefy, but everyone else is pretty damn squishy, other than Tahm Kench, but you don't want to be hitting Tahm. I think the Conqueror makes sense. As they're going for the play here, Sword is close by if this gets too spicy. Both junglers on the bottom side even. Sword will just recall, and EVOS needs to be careful. They should know that Levi's there.
So, and let's talk a little bit about the junglers, not in terms of what they're doing, more about the two players. Levi, of course, the Summer Split MVP from our stream, and also from the official stream as well, if I remember correctly. He was absolutely incredible, #1 player. And then we have Sean on the other side. And Sean was my favorite player when I started covering the VCS in Spring Split. Yeah. He was super crazy. He played the Graves, he played the Nidalee, great jungler, able to accelerate, able to solo win EVOS some games. Now EVOS has upgraded their roster a little bit, and Sean, definitely their most important player this year so far. He started off the split with a lot of MVPs. Until 10.3, he was, I'd say, the best jungler. Now on 10.3, and forwards, he seems to be struggling to find his best champions.
I expected so weird,
him. Right? Yeah, it's super weird. We all thought he would go for a lot of farming jobs, more Nidalee, more maybe a Grace here and there, maybe a Kindred. But instead, he's continuing to play the ganking junglers. And I mean, he's still one of the best players of our league. He's, I think, second, tied with Yijin and Levi, second in MVP standings behind Dia1. So he's definitely still a very good player. But yeah, can he carry EVOS to the playoffs? I think that's the big question for this split.
Levi up in the top lane here. Damage onto +1. Do they want to go? Oh, he was spotted there. They won't go for anything. Just push that wave in.
It's a surprisingly slow early game for a GAM game.
I mean, it makes sense. They have a pretty slow team comp. Dia1, normally when he gets this Lucian, obviously, oh, never mind, I take it back as he uses the culling, and he will burn Tristana down, and we said it was a slow game, and that means that we get action after action, because here's the Rek'Sai ult, trying to do the chop, and he will get it 1-for-1 in the end. Levi won't be able to equalize. Kiaya with an interesting teleport.
Yeah, we have a lot of trigger-happy players today on the teleports. They like to spam teleport as soon as they see one small bit of action. But in the end, it's 1-for-1, but of course, a big advantage. And first blood over to Dia1. We talked about Dia1 being on the Lucian side of this matchup. Usually a little bit of the, I'd say, it's a little Tristana favorite most of the time. Lucian will get an CS advantage, but Tristana is strong on the all-ins. But Lucian is, of course, in the hands of the best player of the league, Dia1. And Dia1, once again, shows why he is considered the absolute star in this league.
We came in a little bit late. He just got, I think, honestly, Tristana probably does win the all-ins most of the time, but I actually think it's whoever goes. And we saw that Dia1 started the fight, opened with the E, and I think just getting that initial damage actually kind of changed how it works, because it's not super Tristana favored, right?
Yeah. I agree, but also two big mistakes for TH. One, he could have flashed the culling, would have mitigated a lot of the damage. Could have also used his ult earlier to push Dia1 away and interrupt the culling as well. So for some reason, he just tanked the culling for like a solid 2 seconds, then decided to ult him away. There was some mechanical misplays for TH. I think he could have won the all-in. But I agree, most of the time, the one who jumps first or gets the first, I guess the first damage on the enemy wins the fight most of the time. But Tristana can turn around.
Yeah, I definitely think, I agree with that analysis. As Levi has started off the Dragon here, the bot lane moving in to help him. They will get that first Infernal. Sorry, that's not an Infernal Drake. It's quite the opposite. Mountain Drake. I'm having a great day. As that's a pretty
Another
good one.
Teleport.
Oh yeah, the teleport's being called. The Dragon's pretty low. Should be smited soon. Never mind. Oh, big supreme display of talent here. Absolutely huge performance out of Levi, but he doesn't get the smite. Sorn will get the objective and the chop, doing a lot of damage, but Sorn does go down. Kill for the Dragon so far. Can GAM find any blood? No. Oh, GAM did find blood, of course. Can EVOS find any blood? Is what I meant. In the end, I think EVOS is pretty happy with that. One Mountain Drake on an Ornn. Happy.
Yep. I'd agree. Also, because it was very close to being a Dragon and a kill to GAM. Now it's a Dragon for a kill, which is fine. Especially the kill went over to Lucian, which does not feel great, of course. Especially if you're TH. You were already losing the lane, and now look at the CS difference. Look at all the gold on the DR1 side. I also
TH is
absolutely
in
love that
trouble.
DR1 went with Ignite in this matchup. We've seen this matchup before, where the Lucian went with the cleanse to get out of the all-ins. But of course, it's DR1, so he's confident enough to challenge TH on the all-ins.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me whatsoever that he's gone
Nope.
for the Ignite. I don't think there's any mid laner in the league that DR1 would say, I need to play it safe again. This was, up in the top lane. Okay, that was an interesting exchange. Thorn does well to get the dragon there.
That's why the TP didn't complete, right?
Yeah.
So Blazes, and I wanted to make a point about Senna. So if you're a jungler, Senna is the best possible ADC you can hope for, okay, because Senna will always assist you with Dragon, because of course she gets 2 souls. So she's very keen to follow and to get the Dragon.
TH taking so much damage. This is
TH can't trade anymore. Yeah. Also, look at DR1's itemization. Once again, we have to his smart adaptation, his smart play all around. Went with the Tabai, which of course is very good in this matchup. So absolutely no chance for TH anymore.
Absolutely no. And I mean, that's really bad. I think it was a very interesting decision by EVOS to kind of throw down the gauntlet.
Yeah.
Like, what were they? I'm not 100% sure what the intention was. Like, were you calling the bluff that DR1 isn't as good as they think? Because that's not right. Interesting. Little soul check. Blazes is at 37.
Not bad. 11 minutes, 37. That is quite good, especially in this lane. Of course, he got a few with the dragon, and the dragon fight gave him a few as well. But yeah, I talked about the potential struggles of Senna into this long-range lane, where she will not find as many souls in the skirmishes. It has to rely on the support souls, so the souls that drop automatically. But that seems to be not that big of a struggle right now for the Senna. So she'll hit the 40 soul mark, which means a 30% crit, 50 more range. So she'll equalize the highest range in the game for Caitlyn and continues to scale.
How many souls does she need to match Cogmore with W? You know,
she needs 100. Cogmore W is 710 range. So with 100, she has 725, which means she has more. Yeah. Tristana gets to 669, so she needs 75 to match Tristana or overcome Tristana.
Cool mechanic, to say the least. The souls. I mean,
do you know how much she needs? How many she needs to outrange turrets?
140 something.
It's 160. Yeah, and one more point.
Yeah, and I mean that's never ever. If that happens in a professional game, it's pretty gross. I mean,
I think we got very close once in LEC this week. I think we got to 120. I think Caps got to 120.
I think one time that it might happen is that if you have a fasting center against Aphelios Thresh, because you could get the Thresh center event to trigger.
Oh, that's true.
And she steals his souls. That'd be like 50 souls just in the.
Do you still get souls? I think you get stats now.
Oh, do you get stats and not souls? I'm not.
I think you get stats.
I've never actually seen it.
30 AD, 30 AP, and yeah, I think that's it.
Rip.
If I remember correctly, yeah. Yeah, I think they decided to not go pull through with the Soul Thief event because it's a little bit. It's a little bit too much game impact.
It's also really unfair because Thresh is a support.
Yeah.
And Senna is an AD carry.
So I mean, this event is still very impactful. So I really want to see it happen.
I don't think it's happened in professional play. Oh, TH taking so much damage, trying to get some back. Does actually respond pretty well in kind, but he manages to just about survive the fire. There is the Dawning Shadow, dodged really well there by Thorn, and in the end gets a 1-for-1. The kill on DR1 is pretty damn valuable. But Levi lives. Well played there.
Still a very good ult for Blazes. Oh, Blazes needs to be careful.
Blazes really needs to be careful. Has to burn a heal when they were just going forward for soul harass.
There, of course, is still the gobble for Palette. So
Yeah, but they use the summoner. That's a big mistake. Mid lane tower is cracked in the meantime. Levi getting solo gold. The epitome of the greedy Vietnamese jungler. We've seen too much of it this split, but you know what? I think Levi gets a pass.
yeah. And this mid laner was not there. So he's like, yeah, I would really like to give you the gold. Unfortunately, you died. I say,
I'm so
I
sorry,
I have
Gia.
to collect the gold.
Oh no, I can't wait.
Oh, no. Yeah, junglers. We all love them, of course.
Only when they're ganking your lane. As a top laner, I'd rather the game didn't have junglers.
Yeah, same here.
I still
especially because your jungler always ganks when you're farming.
Yeah.
Blames you for not engaging in the gang. I'm like, hello, this is more gold than the enemy kill. Please get out of my lane.
EVOS will get the second Drake. The Drake snowball is online as we head to the fiery Infernal Rift.
And honestly, Sorn is straight up outpathing Levi. Yeah. Of course, on the jungle matchup, it's not that surprising, but
Sorn is 2 levels up on Levi fight. In this so let's see. I just want to see how Sorn plays this out. Does he hit a Prey Seeker? No, it's the smite
flash
into
W.
the flash. Okay.
Very good ult usage. It's a little bit unfortunate there that the Daunting Shadow Shield was still up when his ult hit. It was very close, like a few milliseconds away. But he still gets the kill because he's super strong. And look at his level. He's level 11. He has almost equal CS to solo laners. So Sorn is actually putting up a show here today.
Yeah.
He has something to prove against Levi.
God damn, Sorn is absolutely popping off, which is good.
And
Sorn
honestly,
is meant to be the Levi challenger.
Yeah, and honestly, Levi going for Qiyana in this matchup is a little bit of hubris, in my opinion. Qiyana is not the greatest jungler anymore, and she tends to fall behind better pathing junglers like Rek'Sai. So, yeah, it's quite confident to go Qiyana into Sorn. But
they've both got the sweepers running and the supreme display of talent with Dia1 coming in to say thank you. I'll take that tower gold back with the kill.
Yep. Of course, just as I talk about that, he gets caught by the Qiyana and Qiyana gets a kill. As always, Caster Curse coming in hot.
Yeah, I mean, I think, to be fair, we all knew that a proper 1v1 between Rek'Sai and Qiyana is almost always going to be Qiyana winning it if she gets the jump. I don't think we were really ever in doubt about that. It was more, Rek'Sai might have more impact. They will pick up Shirley here, the second Rift Herald. So far, it's looking pretty good for GAM. They haven't got their usual 15-minute gold lead. Only 2k. Terrible game.
They're actually far behind their average, which is 3,100 and up at 50 minutes. So, yeah, quite a disappointing showing. What we have to also praise EVOS, who are keeping up with GAM, which is something not a lot of teams can do. And if you look at the scaling, this game is not over. But the Dragons, there's a lot going in favor of EVOS. The big problem is, of course, the mid lane matchup.
Yeah. EVOS, look, it's impressive so far. They've got a long way to go. Their comp is pretty good, though, as the game goes on, as Shirley has been dropped. EVOS might look for a bit of a fight on the back of this one. There's no Ornhorn for the engage. Kiaya is in the death realm with Sorn, mostly using that as an escape. Has taken a fair bit of damage as the tower goes down, but one gets absolutely chunked out by the Pistols of Lucian.
Can TH trade that in the bot lane, though? He should be able to do that. He's one of the best turret pushers in the game. So
nah, not with the TP.
Kiaya. Kiaya is approaching.
Can we go down there, guys? Yeah, let's go.
Wait, TH should be able to kill him. Oh, TH, no.
Oh, I don't know. With that interrupt on the jump. No, Kiaya's in a lot of trouble. Has to flash. There's the jump. Reset off the E, and this is a huge mistake here. Dawning Shadow to give him a shield. But both are getting helped out by long-range ults, and Hero will claim a kill. Kiaya just didn't need to give that up.
Nope. But also, why is Hero playing this Tristana? He is not good on her. He doesn't know what he can do. There was such an easy solo kill. Maybe the communication was lacking, because Mordecai without his ult, with almost no armor. Oh, B. What?
B is dead.
What was that?
I went to take a sip from my water bottle. And
Mordekaiser had almost no armor and no ult, and everything was up for TH. So TH should have known that he was absolutely able to kill the Mordekaiser 1v1, especially with tied up as well. It's very concerning that he doesn't know the limits of his champion.
I mean, he that was so one-sided. He could have stood still. He didn't even really need to kite. Like
he jumped away.
Yeah.
He jumped away.
He should have just jumped onto him. That spell has crazy base damage.
Yeah, and also slow, so you get the easy reset. You can use the spell again, 97, 95 base damage, of course. Then you have ult, you have ignite, blade, extra damage. So that was one of the easiest to anticipate solo kills ever. So I am really not happy with the Tristana play so far.
Yeah, I think I'd love to know what's going on in the EVOS camp to make them use these 5 players, because it doesn't feel like the strongest 5-man setup. I feel like this would be a lot better if they had a mid laner in and had TH on the Ornn. TH is pretty good on Ornn, and Ornn's not hard. Yep. Doesn't have to do much, just has to upgrade items, right?
Yeah, I think it's just with Parker's performance being very bad in the last few. They have to try something. If Parker is in a slump, you can't win, or you can't get to playoffs with a bad mid laner. So it kind of makes sense, but maybe not the greatest champ for TH, because so far he's looking a little bit lost on this Tristana.
Spooky Circle gets Blazers and Palette around. This is a third Drake here for EVOS. Yep. This is really important. So GAM will absolutely fight over this one.
Bad one has his items. He's super. EVOS should win this fight.
He's a big tanky boy. The gold lead for GAM is definitely a lie with those Ornn items. Dragon down to half health. EVOS needs to go now. There's the Ornn horn. Levi doing well. Gets a lot of stuns. Not a huge amount of damage. Kiaya now taking so much damage in the Death Realm, though, with but one. Can he go down? Not quite. Sorn uses the chomp. Will clean up Kiaya. 2 for 1 so far, though. And GAM winning this fight hard. Tier 1 charging forward. Not the best decision. Palette flashing. Dawning Shadow. Div Kit is low, and he will go down momentarily. Gets licked. Terrible way to go. And EVOS will lose the
he's
fight.
Still on the chase.
Yep, this isn't over. Palette, that dead man's plate. Ooh, yep, good flash from Hero. And, ooh, no, Levi, though, finds B, and the Electrocute comes down and does exactly what it says on the tin.
And they chase them.
That's over. That's, is that game?
They chase them exactly to the Baron, so now Baron is very unhappy with the positioning of EVOS's corpses, so he'll probably go down as well, join them in the Death Realm. So GAM just won the game of one big team fight. Okay. Oh, that was a lot of damage. Can Sorn steal? Can Sorn be the hero?
I don't think he's close enough. No. Wasn't close enough. You have to like flash and then burrow and to get the 50-50. Very difficult.
So that was a super interesting fight. I hope you get to see the EVOS with the smart decision to instantly rush to the dragon, because of course maybe Dragon's soul can help them win this game.
This is a really good call.
Yeah, I like this a lot.
It's a fantastic call. They have to get it, obviously. Ooh, and they do. Levi hopped over that wall. It was bloody close. If anyone was going to steal that, it was probably Levi.
So somehow they have to survive the next 5 minutes and maybe get a little bit closer and go. So to me, it was quite surprising that they were losing this, that they lost the fight with the strongest point in the game for the Ornn. He was super tanky. Of course, S3 is still not on 2 items, so maybe that's the big point.
The problem is that But1 got taken out of the fight by Kiaya. He just death-bombed him. And he's got the Stinger. Hasn't got the Nash's Tooth yet, but a Stinger and a Leandri's means that he can definitely brawl Ornn, even though he is super tanky.
Yeah, the rest of this team didn't have the damage, which was very unfortunate. They have 280 carries and still no damage on Levi. Levi almost went down, but a very good save from Palette. He's playing with a strong Tom Kench this game.
Absolutely. Palette, obviously one of the players that, people talk about as one of the best in the league. Shockingly enough, quite a few of those players are on GAM. Weird. Weird that GAM's winning the league when they've got most of the best players. Culling used for a bit of zoning to get more damage on this tower. Blazers just tickling away.
Oh, S3 damage on Blazers. Can they re-engage? Of course, the healing comes in.
I don't think so. There's too much healing out of this center. She still has the Dawning Shadows. They can clear the cannon minion, which keeps the inhib tower alive, which buys them, 10 seconds.
So what is the soul count right now? We should be at... We should actually be looking at 100 soon. I think. Oh, wow. But
Ooh,
one
the
is
catch.
really.
Wow, but one. That was a terrible decision. Binds his
Yeah.
whole team up. Thankfully, they don't get too punished. Will lose an in here, but momentarily, maybe
Okay.
not, as the Ornhorn's blown, knocks up 2 carries. The Death Realm is Sorn and Kiaya. That's a really strong Death Realm, actually, considering how powerful Sorn is.
What
And
was that?
little bit of a weird interaction there. And there's the Dawning
And they
Shadow to
still
clear
get the
Sorn
snipe.
up.
Oh, man. Solon has to feel so bad about this team
Blazers
fight.
here to play. Paulette tanking the tower. Needs to be a bit careful. But this could be Gum just winning the game. No, Blazers takes too much damage. They need to back off.
Yeah, Gum does not want to have any of the upset week. So it looks like Gum is definitely here to play and secure their usual 2-0 in dominant fashion. Now 5k gold ahead, 5.5k gold ahead.
I hope
the
Parquet's
gold lead,
here. Put it that way. I hope he's at GG Stadium.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. It's a very strange one. Zorn with a very good game, but one with a solid game on all, but he's on, so whatever. They don't have the damage right now to cut through all the healing and the shield from Blazes, constantly topping off all of Gum's very strong front line. So it's a big problem. Also, it's quite hard to itemize the hero because Asriel is only hitting Blazes, for example, with his ult. So ult, of course, it gets only triggers heal reduction or the grievous wounds. If you go for Morelos, which is something you never want to do on the Asriel.
Don't know about that one.
Nope.
I mean, maybe he can do it for us, just so we can continue adding to our screenshots to send to LS when we finally like, you know how they say that the CIA has a heart attack gun? We have a very specialized heart attack gun, and it's just a collection of VCS screenshots to send at LS. Because we'll kill him. He won't survive. And see if EVOS can find a way back in. 1 minute on the dragon. If EVOS can secure that, Infernal Soul does a hell of a lot of damage, so maybe they can get back into it. But I think Garm has to know that that's the one way EVOS has back, and they'll just stop it.
Yeah, Tristana is also scaling up now on 2-item. She's quite strong. She needs a lot of time, though, to cut through all the strong members on Garm's side. I'm not quite sure what target Kiaya wants to go for in the next few team fights. Worked out very well at the Dragon team fight to go for but one to deny all the engage.
I think Sorn, he's still the most fed member, and particularly around the Dragon.
He actually lost the 1-1 against Sorn in the base, so...
Yeah.
Maybe.
But he's now finished his Nashes.
Yeah, he should be able to win.
Or at the very least,
Sorn is almost on 3 items, though. Sorn is scary. Sorn is still pretty scary.
Yeah, but I still think you can just, you're okay with it because take him away from being able to smite the dragon. They can just secure it. Fight doesn't really matter if they stop EVOS getting a dragon soul for another 5 minutes. I think EVOS just loses.
So we are 6k gold. 6k gold is the difference. A little bit of gold from the dragon soul. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 on items. In terms of pure stats from items and from the stat amplifying things, the teams are actually quite close. It's not as big of a lead as it looks like, but GAM is the much more decisive team. So I still expect GAM to be able to close up this game quite easily. But if for example, Levi fails to engage, suddenly the fight could be turned around very quickly.
Levi. That's just mean.
Yeah, it is.
Give him something.
IE is now on the way for TH. It's still a little bit away. With IE done, Tristana could actually look to carry this team.
Yeah. Maybe. Would you have advocated, with knowing how the game situation was, waiting for Molten Edge? Or was Might of the Ruined King okay?
It's not that big of a difference. Molten Edge is 30 AD, and Blade of the
Levi caught! Takes a lot of damage. Ornhorn blown. Does hit him. They know exactly
Link
where he is.
far
Can
away.
they get the pick on this? He gets knocked up, but gobbled, and he's okay. DivKid dodges the Dawning Shadow. Supreme display of talent doesn't really do enough. Kiaya and Sorn are having a rumble in the
First kill
death
to
realm.
GAM.
Yep, Dia1 is here, though, and I think the early damage they took, they dealt to GAM, not in the end correct. Ugh. Not enough,
Yeah,
I should say.
Levi getting caught, but is luckily for him, he had the stopwatch available. That's enough time for Palette to come in and save him. Was a little bit dicey there, but was not able to commit on one side or the other. They kind of had to defend from both sides of the fight, and the ADCs did not commit to either target. So in the end, not enough concentrated damage, not enough burst to kill anyone on GAM, and another Baron will go over to the side of GAM.
Yep. And how does EVOS possibly come back into this? Maybe when GAM gets 3 more dragons, they can steal the Elder. So in like half an hour.
Yeah, very unlikely. It's already a pretty late game for GAM. Their average game time is 29 minutes and 18 seconds. So we're already way past that. GAM needs to hurry up to not screw with the average.
Exactly. And also, we're below a kill a minute in a GAM game. What the hell's going on?
Yeah, indeed.
The VCS is just turning on its head at the moment. Don't know what league we're watching. Is it PCS or something? Bloody hell.
So 2 minutes to soul point, or the soul opportunity for you. Of course, they're still far behind.
This is important. I think
it is,
it's
for
like,
sure.
Like to the point where I think if they don't get it, you can FF.
Pretty much, yeah. And they still have the 2 ADC, and honestly, On as a champion though is strongest on 2 items, or 2 items and a few On upgrades. He doesn't really get that much stronger. That's why the best build for On after the 2 On items is go utility. You go Knight's Woe, and you go with Locket of the Iron Solari to provide as much utility as possible for your team, because more tank items won't do a lot. Tank stats scale badly. They don't scale with each other. They're not multiplicably. So it's actually not very valuable to go for more tank stats.
Might be GAM getting 2 inhibs before the dragon spawns. I think EVOS has just been choked out of this game. GAM not going for the super explosive engages, but just putting the boot down. Here comes the Orn Horn. Dia1's pretty low. Big Orn ult as well. They could potentially make something happen here, but TH is in the death realm with Kiaya. He burns down.
Everyone is exploding.
Despite the fact that this was possibly the best engage EVOS could ask for, they've only got 1 kill. It's on a Tam Kench, and all of them are falling. DivKid, if you want to make your case as one of the best ADCs in the VCS, you could prove it right now. It's a big task. It's a big task. Oh, and he's dead.
Levi.
Levi using that Nexus to bring them down. And GAM, righting the ship of the VCS. We were blown way off course by the rest of the week, but we're heading back towards where we're meant to be.
Absolutely. 13 games more won than lost. 16-3 now. I think probably the second best win rate around the world. Only C9 should have a better one, and I guess PCS, the one team is still undefeated, but PCS only started last week, so
that doesn't count.
Not really counting them. GAM, once again, looks absolutely dominant.
Yeah. I mean, there's not much else to say. GAM is doing GAM things. They're when they get to play like that, where they get to make all the calls, all that kind of thing, that's it, right? How do you stop them?
Yeah.
I think EVOS needs to take more initiative and throw a spanner in the GAM plan, because if GAM gets to do their plan, you're not better than them.
I think one of the most important parts of beating GAM, or one of the most important ingredients, most of the time, GAM tries to look for a crack in the enemy team's armor, and like 80-90% of the time, the crack comes in the mid lane, because Dia1 is pushing you to show that crack. And you kind of need a player that is able to stand up to Dia1 We saw that in the series against with Carty against DIY, where Carty just stayed mid lane, farmed for the whole game, fell behind a little bit in CS, but and suddenly Flash was able to play through bot lane, through top lane. Flash had these individual players to team fight against GAM, and they were able to win. So yeah, I think it's very important to have a stake. It seems like EVOS today didn't bring a mid laner, so
No,
their chances of winning are very slim.
mean, maybe Carty is in the wings. Parquet, I should say. If Carty was in the wings, yeah, hell yeah, bring him in if you've stolen him from Team Flash. But Parquet, of course, is who I mean. We do have to pick an MVP for that game. I think 2 candidates in my mind.
Which are?
Dia1 and Levi.
Yeah.
Dia1 had a really good game.
Shout out to the bot lane as well. Very good Tom Kench. I don't think it was enough to warrant an MVP, which is a little bit unfortunate because I would really like to give an MVP to the GAM bot lane.
We haven't given one all split.
Well. Nope. It's always Dia1 or Levi, and it's again Dia1 probably. He got the solo kill. He was the focal point of the composition, so kind of has to be Dia1. But Levi also stepped up, especially after initially the jungle matchup.
Yep, I think we'll lock it in for Dia1. And so GAM is up 1-0. It was a dominant performance. They might bring us back to reality. And after what should have been a 4-game day yesterday, turning into a 6-game day, can we get the 4-game day returned to us? Can I get a full night's sleep? That would always be nice. But we'll find out in about 7 minutes or so. Always happy to have you here. If you do look down below the stream, there's a few ways to join the community. We have heaps of really talented people that aren't just me and Yulwei, that write articles, do all that kind of thing. Please do go and support them. It would mean a lot to me personally because I care a lot about them. And there's also a few ways you can chuck us a few bucks if you've got it spare, just to help us be able to pay the rent and keep the lights on. But never feel pressured to. We do this for the love of the league. We'll be back in about 6 or 7 minutes to see if GAM can close it out and end this week with a 2-0 win, or if EVOS will fight back and take us to a Game 3. See you soon, guys.
Thanks for tuning in.
boss. Aphelios
Thresh.
and Ornn.
Come on, Thresh. We want the Thresh
Whoa.
Senna.
Jace would be a horrible pick here, but I feel like we're getting a lot of Jace hovers. Ooh, Taric? No, Thresh is good
there we
here.
go.
Yep.
Thresh against Senna. What is the level? I think level when one gets X, right?
It's you know what? You can do your color. I'll find out.
Okay, fine enough. Yeah, we need to know. We need to know. This is now the most important this game because it's very likely that the GAM will just once again murder EVOS. So we need to focus on some more interest as we have Levi Lee Sin locked in. Yesterday, actually, I kind of trash talked Lee Sin, Levi Lee Sin, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So when I went to Reddit and praised Yankos for his incredible Lee Sin performance on, I think it was Friday. And then someone answered me because he saw my flare, which says VCS caster. He said, you should know about Levi Lee Sin. I was like, I mean, he's a good Lee Sin, but I like him more on AP champs. So now here he is to prove me wrong, to once again add more act.
You know what I'm really upset about GAM? Why is he not playing Karthus?
Yeah, they're saving for playoffs. They are saving for playoffs. Hopefully.
So
I want to see more Levi Karthus.
The conditions to trigger the quest, Thresh could be AFK.
Oh,
it's 100 souls for Senna. That happens.
Okay.
That absolutely happens with fasting Senna.
Yeah, it does. It does.
The quest could trigger.
We didn't actually see the soul count last game around. But she probably was more over 100. Very likely. She had 40 at 11 minutes. So very likely that she hit 100 last game. Which means, do you also know what exactly the benefits are? 30, 80, and MP, right?
Winners rewards. So if Thresh wins, if Senna wins, it is 30 AP and 30 armor. AP is weird.
Oh.
AP as well, which is weird. If Thresh wins, whoa, look at what Thresh gets. 40 AD, 50 range, 30% crit.
Holy, what?
And they do get stacks. They do get stacks, but they don't steal them.
Okay, they don't steal, but they get one. No one gets.
Can we just talk about what got locked in, by the way? Gragawo.
Yeah, very, very
Here
exciting.
we go.
Very exciting draft. Brent Hubber. Okay,
I mean, Paulette has that wasn't Paulette that played it. Oh, was it? No, wouldn't have been.
Wait. They locked it.
Wait, that Galio's locked. That's Galio mid.
Yeah, mid lane Galio for DR1. He wants to show us a different style this time.
Probably decent into team comp.
Yeah. Yeah, it's quite good into Aphelios. And not great into Thresh though. It's pretty easy for B to zone him away. Nameplates off. I would actually favor draft, I have to say.
I completely agree. This Yasuo can go huge.
Yeah, he can. It's we also have one single AP threat in the Gragas, but Gragas is actually quite a good champ to be the single AP threat. He's kind of a mini card.
Yeah.
You can go for double penetration and deal a lot of AoE damage, so kind of forces the enemy squishies to go for MR anyway.
I mean, I always love seeing Gragas getting picked because, of course, every day of my life is a Gragas cosplay. So, you have to see if he... I mean, again, nameplate's off. I like EVOS' comp more. Where do you think the lane assignments are going? Do you think Ornn is going mid? Or will they put Yasuo against Galio? I don't know how that matchup goes. I imagine Yasuo's fine. Melee versus melee?
Yeah, I imagine Yasuo is going, honestly. Not sure though. Could go either way. Yasuo into Aatrox. Yasuo can block the chains, right? Aatrox has a very hard time chasing through.
I mean, he can't block the Q though.
Yeah.
I think you can. The Wind War gets more value mid because you stop the Winds of War.
Yeah. I'd like Yasuo mid also because it's easier to set up the kills with Gragas Yasuo. So Probably mid lane Yasuo and top lane on again, but not as clear cut as last game. Yeah, and he goes mid lane. So it seems like TH is focused on learning a new role in mid lane. Of course, rookie from last year is still 17. So kind of makes sense to have him be the player that learns the new role if they commit to this. Park seems to be off right now, or at least off the roster.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he's sick or something, or he has had a couple very bad weeks, so I can't blame EVOS for trying something else.
Also, very, very interesting rune choice for TH.
Hail Blades, I like it.
Yeah, this was something that we have seen that we saw a lot around Worlds and even after Worlds crop up for the Yasuo players. It's very strong for early trades, and of course, Yasuo scales with attack speed not only for his normal auto attacks as every champ does. Okay, not every champ. But yeah, his Q is, of course, benefiting a lot. Actually, there's more benefit in building attack speed than cooldown reduction for his Q. So very quick succession of attacks for the Yasuo possible here.
That's why if your Yasuo player ever flames you for not giving them blue buff, you know that they are just a complete smooth brain, because blue buff does literally nothing for Yasuo. Well, not literally. It reduces 1 or 2 of his cooldowns, but it's not a good buff.
Yeah, Windwall and ult. Nice.
Yeah, cool. Windwall ult's already a super low cooldown, so don't give you Yasuo's blue buff. Don't give you Yasuo's anything. Just don't encourage them to play Yasuo.
Okay. There seems to be a little bit of hatred.
Yeah, of course. Yasuo's on your team. The Yasuo's on the enemy team are great to watch. Yasuo's on my team, though? Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. Yeah, Yasuo is one of those notorious solo queue. As far as I know, still the most picked and banned champ in Vietnamese solo queue. He's one of the main Vietnamese solo queue champs. So also one of the champs every mid laner in Vietnam be able to play. It's a little bit like the Lee in Korea. If you can't play Lee Sin as a jungler in Korea, you're not a jungler. Same with Yasuo. If you can't play Yasuo, you should probably not be a mid laner. So first mid lane test for TH successful. I guess he picked the Yasuo. Needs to show us that he can actually play the Yasuo as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm keen to see it. I really like seeing Yasuo in pro play. He's obviously a super highlight reel champion.
Yeah.
What he can get done. Looking at the runes, nothing too surprising overall. I think it all looks pretty damn normal.
Attack speed for zeros. I'm not sure how common that is on Aatrox.
Normally it'd be the alacrity, you'd think.
Strikes me as a little uncommon. I'm not quite sure. Of course, you stack this rune way the bloodline. Could also get tenacity though. So I think this is just the best early game choice and should give him a lot of early trading power into the on. Even though looking at the top lane trades so far, Zeros has actually been struggling.
Here is a bit of a play down to the bot lane. Sorn's here early. Paulette's in a lot of trouble. The Gravitum has not been used yet. How does he get out? How is Tom Kent so tanky? But it doesn't matter because they're going to go for round 2. Oh, dear God, no. But up in the top lane, But1 will get first blood. But down there, it's such a huge mistake there. Sorn went for the belly bop, but it was a bit of a belly flop as he went under tower and died for no reason.
Yeah, a series of very unfortunate events there for EVOS lane, because Palette got his Guardian off cooldown very second where they wanted to kill him, and suddenly Guardian triggered. He got his shield of like 100 worth of shield and speed buff. So then Sorn looked to go for the belly bop.
Ooh, here's the TP in for Levi to get the gank. This is a lot of trouble here for TH. The TP will come in. He's buying a lot of time. Good flash. But1's here. Can the Ornn get that brittle damage? No, he can't get the knock up. Now But1 is going to take a bit of damage, but Ornn is a tanky boy, so he'll walk out. Yes.
What happened to top lane? A tower dive at level 4 for But1. So let's look at this. As I said before, Zeros has actually been P. He's probably just getting caught by the... Yeah, there we go. Brittle also procs. Another Q will land shortly.
Zeros, overrated.
Yep.
Dying under tower.
No, Q didn't land. Good, very, very crucial dodge on the Q though. So that would have been a clean kill for but one, if not for Zeros's Q dodge. At least Zeros gets the kill back, but still first blood over to but one. Not the start Zeros hoped for.
No, definitely not. But it is still Zeros and it's still Aatrox. He's got 2 kills as well. So maybe it is the start he hoped for.
Yep.
Because he cleaned it up. Dying under tower wasn't happy, but in the end, he's still a kill up. Looking pretty good. Has that Kindle gem. So definitely not too sad. But one, really struggling against those Qs. Zeros will have full lane control. And the mid lane.
Yeah, that's not all the On can do, to be honest, to dodge those Qs. You can try to immune one and then counter. I'm always interested to see what happened here.
I'm not 100% sure what happened here at all. Thorn appears to have just caught himself a Zeros, but one was coming in and they hooked themselves a fish and it seems like they took it down. Oh, never mind.
Wow. That was the second kill for Zeros.
Yeah, that's what we missed. Okay. I was wondering where the second kill came from.
So Thorn on a little bit of an int mission. We praised him a lot in the last game, and this time is 0-2 already on the Gragas. Gragas also
this is bad.
Very great so far in this league. Surprisingly, we had a lot of Gragas success in summer, but in spring so far, Gragas has been struggling again and again.
It's a shame, and this is also quite bad because Thorn, not only is he off to a bad start, he doesn't have Predator. He's gone the Dark Harvest, and this bad start is even more punishing.
Yep.
Ugh.
So this is, of course, a little bit a page out of the DNK book, who likes to go for the Dark Harvest all the time, especially on this Gragas pick. It's a very weird choice. I still don't like it. I think it's a little bit. I think it doesn't do a whole lot. Predator is better. I even think if you want to go burst, you can go with something like
or something.
Electrocute. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Predator's the best. This was the DNK special last split, but apparently it has infected more people like a virus. As now the Yasuo has been caught out, this will be an easy kill. Levi didn't press Q there, so has to flash. Hero can get away. What?
Zeros on the chase though.
He's gonna get away. Okay.
Amazing.
Was Levi trying to give the kill to Dia?
No.
Because I feel like he could have pressed Q.
The knock up delayed it, and so he wanted to make sure. So he pressed his ult to have the execute damage kill him 100%. But he landed the Q quite a bit before that. So he
down in the bot lane. There's the Calibra ult being used from DivKid, but he gets yoinked out with a lantern, so he's okay. Woof.
Yep, not too much happening. So he wanted to ult and then Q, but he got interrupted by TH. TH was too far. Q ran out. So a little bit unfortunate for Levi. He even flashed over the wall. Not able to do that. So in the end, TH gets away, shows us a cool little Yasuo mechanic.
Yeah, absolutely. He's very happy to get away. Zeros, despite that little bit of observers trolling him, making what the hell? The Raptors disappeared. They're back. That was a bit weird. He is still 20 CS up. He's absolutely loving his life in the top lane, saying, "Why go to LPL? I can just do this for the rest of my career." The whole big fish, small pond, medium fish, big pond.
Medium fish, okay.
Oh, I'm trying to be nice, okay?
Yep.
I like Zeros.
So far, Kiaya is not really intimidated by Zeros' performances, though. I think if you look at all the games from Kiaya, he's probably still the starting top laner for GAM. It seems like they are committing to the Kiaya half of the games, Zeros the second half of the games plan, which is fair. I think that's a very good approach. Would be quite unfair to have Kiaya not play anything anymore.
Yeah, at least until never mind. We'll come back to it. As here is the Ornn horn being blown. Hero's here, but there was no knock-up from the Ornn ult, so no
can Zeros
last
turn?
breath. I
no.
think he can, but no, there's the Yasuo ult. A lot of armor pen coming in. He's got no team coming, and that'll be Sorn picking up a shutdown. And Zeros nearly turned it, but not quite. Ooh, true. And the Dark Harvest stack.
the much more important objective, of course. Honestly, most Dark Harvest users are probably just want to have a little bit of a mini game. It's always fun to have something to look at and stack up. That's also because the one reason because the Senna is so much sees so much play, I should say.
It's fun, yeah. Oh, there's a knock in. Tier 1. Sword, I don't think you really like what you might find there with Levi coming.
Oh, another Dark Harvest.
But Hero is here. If they can find a belly bop. Nope, not in the end. The Yasuo, well, actually wasn't up, but still, one trade.
And EVOS is still very close in terms of gold to GAM. They are keeping up in this game. And if you look at there's a big CS lead in top lane for Zeros. After but one conceded another kill at the top side, and also Zorn into another one away. Zeros got the big advantage, even though he lost the early trades, so that's to be expected. A little bit of a CS lead in the mid lane as well, but bot lane is even. Jungle is in favor of Zorn, so yeah, GAM needs to do more to win this game.
That said, GAM is 300 gold ahead. Despite all of
only
those
300 gold.
Yeah, but I mean, GAM scaling is pretty good.
Not as good as EVOS, though.
Fasting Center always keeps you mostly okay, I think.
Yeah.
But you're right. They do need to keep they do need to find the gas pedal and start pushing their foot down on that one.
Well, we talked about fasting center compositions as well, and one of my biggest qualms with when the mid lane has no consistent damage threat, which once again is the case here for GAM. So Zeros needs to step in and be the consistent damage, which Aatrox can do, especially if he's very good, well played Aatrox. It's not as easy as with a Cassiopeia or Orianna, so we have to see if GAM can execute.
Looking for the Rift Herald, and But1 and Sword will be scared away. This is unfortunate here that these early objectives have just been going to GAM without a contest. You want to use your Gragas Yasuo here. Those are the perfect pits to find around, and it's sort of the time of the game where those big last breaths really live up to their name. Instead, it's just going to be first tower here for GAM.
Yeah, very good point. And more platings over to them. Now finally add a little bit of a bigger gold lead. I would like to see the soul count, of course, for Blazes right now checking in. He's at 12 minutes. He should have crested 40 already. I'm not sure if he had.
Ornalt used for wave clear. Yes. Pretty clever.
3 more. So yeah, he should definitely be over 40.
Definitely should. Be very, very disappointing if he wasn't.
Oh. Did he know that the... Oh, no.
Oh, here's the dive. Tier1 gets the taunt. I don't know if they want to go on that one. Oh, Paulette with the flash devour. Levi absolutely has to be thanking his support there as he gets away from what should have been a certain kill.
Oh, Zeros.
Oh, my God. Zeros coming in, doing so much damage here in the side, and no one from GAM has gone down, and it will be at least 2 from EVOS. Oh,
there we go. The GAM engage, the GAM mid game coming in. Of course, very over-aggressive play from Levi this time, but of course, he has 2 supports on the backhand who can bail him out, and Zeros comes from the flank. A lot of damage on the level 10. Aatrox, 1 item completed. So, GAM wins another fight. They are let's say 1.5k gold ahead. Not quite, but reads better.
It's about
that. They have 1 dragon to their name. The advantage is not super big, so it's definitely EVOS is definitely still in this game. DivKit is scaling up, TH is building some items, but they need more time to scale, a lot more time to scale.
Yeah, absolutely. It is looking very good here for GAM. If they can just keep going, I'd like to see them go take the dragon, keep that dragon snowball going. It is guaranteed to be a fairly high impact dragon. We've only got the Ocean and the Infernal left in the pool. What's your bet? Ocean or Infernal?
Ocean.
Yeah. I'm going to say Infernal just to be different, but we'll see. Obviously proves which one of us is the better analyst.
Of course. That's on the line every time. So
to be fair, if you look at our pick'ems this week,
the soul count. That's true. Actually, no one has had a good prediction week, I think.
Bit of weird week.
Who could have predicted all these weird surprises? TS losing 0-2. That was super strange to DVL. For some reason, VGA 2-0 today. So, yeah, I don't think anyone could have seen that coming. We still didn't know the soul count. The observers really leave us in the dark about those.
We gotta figure it out from context clues.
Yeah.
I
saw her crit a few times already, so she definitely has some stack, but who knows how many.
Definitely does have some stacks. I'm sure. It'd be very, very concerning if she had 9 CS and 0 souls. As we are going to Infernal. Oh, why am I not solo casting? Why are you even here, Yulwei?
You always win this one. I'm not sure. I think VCS just hands you the script to the dragons all the time, just to troll me.
Yeah, so our Discord server, Amber's got the actual script, but I've got the dragon script, which is totally more important. Zeros goes for a good trade there against Hero. Could have potentially gone further, but the wind wall blocked the chain.
So we are once again entering a little bit of a lull state here. The GAM needs to wait for some of the cooldowns. No flash on Levi, so his playmaking ability is a little bit capped. But he wants to go for the play anyway.
Yeah, this is the Galio ult coming in, but one has no chance here. Don't know about the Dawning Shadows use, but...
He wanted to steal the kill. A very good patience shown from Levi. He didn't into the W, waited for that one to complete, which of course is the right call. In the end, he didn't actually all available. So a very good awareness of what On is going to do. Of course, everyone should have those this kind of knowledge, even if you never play On, because On is in meta. In fact, probably the strongest champ on the patch.
Yeah, I mean, not looking that strong. He's got that Sunfire cape, not upgraded yet. 131 is but one, returning to the but one that we know. Not going to finish that sentence.
And not laugh.
This is rough here for EVOS. This is very rough.
He's also 70 CS behind already.
Yep.
So now it's my time to ask you, what is your estimate? When does the Flame Horizon come in this game?
Ooh, 25 minutes.
25? Oh, that's very conservative.
Yep. That's what I am. I'm a conservative, clearly. You know, not political. As D1 goes for the trade here on to but one, gets the Orn Horn and says, I don't need to keep going. All good.
Yeah, chat, that's a funny little game you can play with. Whenever there's an extended lull state, just see how excited the play-by-play caster gets by one little engagement that's clearly not leading to anything. It's very fun to play that game.
Look, man, I'm bored. I cast the VCS for a reason. It's because my league IQ is zero. So I need plays. I can't do analysis. I'm a VCS play-by-play.
To be honest, there's not a lot of analysis to be done right now. They're just ping-ponging waves, farming. Nothing is really happening, which is very unusual for a GAM game. They are just waiting for, and they can.
And GAM will pick up this second Rift Herald. I don't think EVOS will be contesting this one.
This Rift Herald shouldn't actually lead to a whole lot either, so EVOS can give it up. It's not the biggest deal. 20 minutes in, almost 20 minutes in. So Baron will enter the fray as well. Baron damage is very limited on GAM's side, so we will not see a lot of Baron focus for GAM, I would suspect. On the other side, they have some of the best Baron champs in the game, especially Aphelios. I'd say Aphelios is now the best Baron champ, a Baron taker in the game.
When he has the Boros set up.
Yeah.
I know you don't. To continue using the terms me and Vinny came up with.
Crescendum and something else. The best case is Severum Crescendum, but you can go Calibrum as well. Crescendum and Calibrum has a lot of damage, but of course, Crescendum, Severum is the strongest possible setup against Baron. He is now sitting on 2 items already, so he is.
We need a soul count. Really need a soul count. It's been a while since we've had one.
Yeah.
Need to know how much that Senna's going to be doing. She does have her Umbral Glaive. Very.
Did you know that in the observer client, you can see how many the ammo of an ability on the usual ability spots for failures?
Yeah.
I've never seen that before. That's interesting. I mean, it's not that interesting, to be honest, but I mean, we are grasping at straws. Nothing is.
We are really grasping at straws.
Please
I haven't even had like an interesting week, so I don't have anything to even talk about. I took Rakan to the vet today. He was very misbehaved.
I almost killed myself here.
Oh, good job.
Yeah. GAM gets another 3k gold lead, so they're very slowly incrementally growing their lead. Is it enough against Ornn, though? Ornn is now sitting on one upgraded item, I think. The second one is available. He also is level 13, so he's able to upgrade one item. I don't think there is an upgradable item yet. 2 IEs on the way, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he'll get there. It's okay if there's a little bit of a delay, as long as you get to the Ornn upgrades eventually.
Yeah, he has 2 upgraded items now. And this build is, of course, one of those builds that gets a lot of flame. On 2 items, it's not as strong as the other Ornn build. But the enemy team is almost entirely armor, so 80 damage, of course. So makes some sense, as we have a big fight erupting.
And that is the Infernal Drake here, secured for EVOS. Dawning Shadow is used. Galio has arrived. Hero's taken so much damage. He goes down. Sorn super low as well, so it might be Dragon secured, but everything else gone wrong. He has the Infernum and the Severum. Has he used that Moonlight Vigil? He has. I don't think he's going to be able to do enough. He won't even be able to get away. Ooh, cheeky little flash to try and get Blazes. And he manages to get something back at least, as he gets gobbled up and licked to death. And that is 4 members of EVOS becoming fertilizer for the Rift. Ooh.
Well, EVOS seems to be absolutely unable to fight. Quite weird if you look at the team composition. This team composition have some very effective team fighting, but for some reason they are always not quite on the same page when it comes to engaging. Once again, but one kind of on the flank, which doesn't really make sense. Ornn shouldn't be on the flank. And also Thorn didn't find a good cask to enable his mid laner. So even though we look at a very strong Wombo combo team composition, the combo is just not happening. So now it's a 5k gold lead. The Dragon train at least got stopped. Look at this again. Why is Ornn on the side? Why?
I don't know. Does a lot of damage onto Blazes, but that doesn't matter. It's Senna.
Yeah, now it's the 2 front engage for EVOS immediately. Didn't get his ult off even. And DivKid on the side, he doesn't have the damage yet to deal with that. No penetration either. So DivKid knows that he's probably going to go down to the very good re-engage from DR1. So he goes for 1 kill. Fair. I'm not sure if it's worth the flash, but I guess he wanted the gold, which makes sense because he needs to be accelerated for the next team fight. He needs the upgraded IE. Okay, he's going for heal reduce first. Fair enough. There's 1 IE for TH already, so can probably go for that. But yeah, EVOS needs more time. They need more items. And they need a better cask from Sorn. They need something to set up TH.
Yeah, I mean, EVOS super far behind here, looking very, very bad for them, but they do always have the opportunity of a big Wombo combo. We can have the bounce house of Gragas, Ornn, and Yasuo being used. It's so difficult, though, because Blazes has to instantly die, because he's going to put out way too much heals on the entire team, as well as all the damage. Then you've got to worry about Zeros. It's so hard to win a team fight.
Honestly, the most important part for me, for them to win a team fight, that they have clear battle lines.
B completely caught out there. Definitely no clear battle lines there.
Nicely done,
good little pop there. Get Sorn out of trouble.
Yep. Yeah, I honestly think it's most important for EVOS to approach a fight where they know they are going to fight. Because the biggest problem in the whole series has been that EVOS gets surprised by fights and then doesn't have the setup they need for their team fight to work out, because they have a very strong team fighting composition. They can go
Horn
for
being blown. We'll get a double knock up into the Yasuo ult. Palette and Blaze is caught, but I don't think TH is going to be able to do enough. This is a lot of damage. Dawning Shadow flashed away, but there's a big taunt from Tier 1, and EVOS is melting away. None of them are dead quite yet. That's about to change, though, as But1 is put into the ground by the Sword of Zeros. Turned around. Tier 1 gets one. Can they keep this going? Crescendum is available, as is Gravitum. He'll be able to lock them up soon. There it is. Infernum. It comes out. Aphelios. He does a lot, Eos. Can they find anything more, or is GAM going to be a little bit too quick? I think they will just about get away. But it was close to the turn.
Imagine this team fight with the Molten Edge in like 5-6 items. Suddenly, Divkit easily kills everyone. GAM has not won this game yet. It's quite risky. We see a big gold lead, but of course there are a lot of on items coming in slowly but surely. 3 on items already, so that's about 4 or 5k gold on in effective stats. A lot of those on, so maybe it's more like 3k, but it's still 3k less of a gold lead than GAM thinks it is. It's 12-4 in kills. And still, GAM is not yet over the line. They need
also, the Flame Horizon just happened. So 26 minutes.
Good call. Good call.
Bang. Spot on.
And Zeros is the big carry here in the team fights. Absolutely. As we talked before earlier, it's Senna, fasting Senna does a lot, by the way, 95 stacks. So we're very close to the event happening. Yeah. But she's not the main carry of a team. She never has been.
Oh, and Palette and Levi have caught out Hero here. Tier 1 a little bit salty about that kick.
Come on, why the stopwatch?
The stopwatch is a complete waste. Just piss away 600 gold.
Yeah, he did.
He's going to build it into a GA, but could be traded for Baron, though. He has...
Divkit?
No, he's trying to... He's getting through the way. He's just getting through the ammo.
Okay, fair enough.
He has 1 ammo left. Switch it to Street Fighter.
Oh, they have enough time.
There we go. He's got Calibrum, yeah. That is Baron secured. In the end, they don't actually get it. Yep, Tier 1 comes over in the blast cone. Could go for the big taunt. Yeah, well done there. But he goes down immediately. They should be able to trade it back onto Dia. But1 in the front line. That's a good hook. Zeros is here, though. They need to get out. Leave But1 to die. Save your Baron buffs. At least 2 of you might be able to make it out in purple. Never mind. Divkid's just going to try and trade a kill. Divkid trying to be cheeky as hell. But in the end, it doesn't matter. GAM says, I don't care about your cheek, son. We'll take an ace. Well, not quite an ace because of the respawn, but a real ace.
Yeah, cross-map ace, you could say.
Delayed
of course,
ace,
TH, delayed ace or cross-map ace, but TH respawn,
Blazes.
He can't def alone.
This is going to be hard.
Blazes should be very close to 100 now, so I'm not sure if we get to see the trigger of the event, but it should be happening soon. Not sure why
he has to trigger it. He has to be at 100 souls and suck a soul out of Thresh.
Oh, interesting. Okay,
that's the actual trigger.
And then it's whoever kills the other first, right?
They die. They die within 3 seconds of taking damage from the other.
Okay.
So
yeah,
a little bit harder.
You don't have to actually get the kill.
Yeah,
but you need to be participating. So this game is still quite interesting, and Divkid is now on Molten Edge. Divkid on 355 AD. He can carry this game. And they got the Baron, so Baron out of the way. Look at this very good stop from Zorn. He sacrifices himself into Dia1 to enable Divkid.
Divkid's trying so hard.
Yeah. Divkid on Calibrum Severum, not the greatest setup, for the best damage setup. Of course, Crescendo was burned on the Baron. And now look at this very interesting move. He flashes back to the Lantern. Maybe a little bit of a waste. He didn't know that there was a flank coming. So
if there had been no flank, it would have been sick. So I think going for it is fine. As GAM moves up to 3 Drakes, 1 more, and they'll have the Infernal Soul. And it's going to be, I mean, it was already difficult for EVOS to come back here. It's going to be even harder if they're up against an Infernal Soul.
That is for sure. And Infernal Soul is actually very crucial because they need more damage, and their damage problems will probably get solved if they get the Infernal Soul. Suddenly, even the very, very tanky Palette will do more damage, which means suddenly you don't really have the trouble of having to protect Blazes too long because everyone else can deal damage as well.
It's very tricky here because EVOS has to find a way to stop Zeros ripping their
Okay,
team up.
got one.
And
Time to spam emotes, honestly, of course. What?
Hook comes out, doesn't land. We see.
So GAM needs to be careful. GAM needs to constantly check. They might feel like they're very far ahead, but they are very far ahead. Double Molten Edge, Zhonya's Paradox, 2 on items on on.
I mean, they're incredibly
stats,
far ahead if DivKid dies.
Yeah.
You could trade DivKid for any member of GAM, and then GAM is, 10k ahead.
Yeah. TH should be able to do something, but so far he is very unstable.
At the moment, he's just a knock-up extender.
Yeah. I mean, he's sitting on 100% crit and Molten Edge. He should be a big threat, but I mean, his Yasuo play is just not very impressive. So he needs to step up for his team to be able to run away with the victory. But one, of course, still pretty strong. He's building a Varmox, which is the best item with this specific item setup.
Wow, Levi going straight in under the tower, calling in the Galio. He goes straight. Oh, no, he's actually still alive. No. Now he's going, and DivKid's dead. That's the fight. Completely done. Oh, really unfortunate here. Can Blazers at least...
on TH?
Can Blazers get some auto attacks onto Thresh to maybe get a...
TH, what are you doing?
Event? Oh, but there's the turnaround. TH does really well there. Gets an instant kill onto DR1. Can they find anything more? There are really low health bars here from GAM. They might throw the backside of this fight here. TH is going to clean it up, even though he actually didn't get either of the kills. GAM losing the fight, even though DivKid went down.
And DivKid with big positioning mistakes, but they still survived this engagement, so... It's getting dicey. We might look at the game 3.
Ooh, it's exciting.
Yeah, this is honestly a very close series. Way closer than we expected to be.
Yeah.
EVOS definitely fighting back against GAM. GAM is still on soul point though, and in 2 minutes the dragon will spawn. So that might be the last ditch effort for EVOS approaching soon. And TH needs to get tankier for the next team fight because his GA is now popped. He needs to work on his Sterox gauge to not instantly die into the Galio.
Yeah, but I mean, that teamfight started about the absolute nightmare for EVOS. Imagine that teamfight if DivKid isn't dead.
So keep your eyes on DivKid.
He
gets kicked away and very good engagement zeros. Instantly Zhonja can't really do a whole lot. But then everyone dog piles on top of the ADC instantly. Aphelios goes down. He can't do anything. Got repositioned. Actually, not that big of a mistake for DivKid, in my opinion. He just got everyone just jumped on top of him. Maybe a little bit of a mistake from B. He could have peeled a little bit more. But I think GAM ignored the little graveyard thingy. What is it called again? In the base.
What? The graveyard thingy?
There's a grave. There's a grave, yeah, right? In the base. It's like a turret.
Oh, yeah, like the little piece of terrain.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And they completely forgot about that and got stunned or knocked up on the little grave there. So, yeah, a little bit unfortunate. And now Varmox is built up for the on, and once again they're
starting Baron.
Rushing.
No crescendum, so it's not ultra quick, but I mean, Aphelios is still bloody quick. So there's the Ornn ult being used. His own Levi and there's the Q-in, and TH goes straight in onto Levi. He's in the back line as this Yasuo, but he's not tanky enough. There's the knockups coming in from Zeros. He is in that DivKid coming out of that GA. He's dead. Oh no, EVOS. You had the chance. Levi might go down here to Sorn. No, Sorn throwing a terrible barrel there. And oh no, it was looking good for only a moment. But then Hero decided, I can 1v3. Dia says, actually, mate, this is how you 1v3. Getting the triple kill. And
what was that? Why was that? EVOS throws away everything. They just got another Baron. They could have tried to disengage or at least fight on even footing. Why did TH go into the backline with no vision, no idea what was going to happen? He just threw away the whole game. It was so close.
Yep.
It's honestly so disappointing.
GAM will get the 2-0 expected result. Maybe not the manner that we expected it. It was much closer.
Showing some weaknesses, honestly. not the clean GAM we expected, and EVOS fought back brilliantly. Even though they didn't field their starting lineup, they look quite strong today.
Yeah.
2 draft victories, in my opinion, as well. So GAM had to fight against the stronger draft coming out of EVOS.
Yeah, that they did. So, potentially some positives to take away there from EVOS, but it is GAM walking away with the victory in the end. So we do have to pick an MVP for that second game. Probably Zeros. He was dominating fights on the Aatrox.
I kind of want to give it to Palette.
Yeah,
overall
that's the other one I was thinking.
Because 2 very good Tahm Kench games. We didn't give it to him. Played an outstanding Tahm Kench. I think it was something like 309 before he first went down in the enemy base where everyone died. So, do we want to give it to Palette? I think he deserves it.
I think, let's give it to Palette. I'm down for that.
Yep.
Always down to give it to a
shout out to Zeros as well. But I have to say, I'm a little bit worried overall in the split. Yulwei has not been the dominant Yulwei we know from Summer. DR1 has carried him time and time again. And there is something missing for Yulwei.
Maybe he just misses Zeros. Maybe now that Zeros is back, they'll rekindle their bromance.
Yeah.
And he'll get back up. But yeah, you're right. Levi is meant to be heads and shoulders above every other jungler in this league. And he hasn't been this split. He just hasn't been.
Nope. 2 good games from Sauna. Not the greatest early game in this. Good top lane, bot lane kill. No, it was actually top lane.
Yep.
And then, of course, also no real mid laner. Yasuo, time and time again, just inted away all of the advantages. With a good Yasuo player, imagine this EVOS team with a good mid laner now. They would actually be contesting for one of the top spots, in my opinion.
Yeah,
they just need to find a good mid laner. They have a solid top. TH is usually a good top laner. Then we have a very strong jungler, quite a good bot lane. I'm still quite impressed with Divkit. B is one of my favorite supports in the VCS. So they really need to find someone to play mid lane. It's a little bit of a struggle. And I really believe if they had like Kati or maybe Yado, DR1 of course, but even Artifact, of course, is one. Definitely won the second game here.
Yep, I agree. So that will be it for us tonight. And apparently, according to chat, you won 2 weeks of predictions in a row, my friend.
Yes.
You won the Topsy-Turvy week. You're justifying your place as Colorcaster. Congratulations. Now, if anyone in the chat did want to join in our little pick'ems contest that we have, you could scroll down below the stream, join our Discord, have some fun with us. While you're there, why not throw some money at us? Come on, we entertained you for like 6 hours. I think we deserve something. Hey, just joking.
And we have cool emotes, so if you want to subscribe, like the cool people did on stream already, you can get access to our very cool emotes. And if enough people do that, we can add even more cool.
So we've gotten a caveat to your win. We got a caveat to your win. 7 people won this week.
I knew it.
But still, 2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
That's good. But regardless, with that, we will wrap up. I have been Everyday. With me has been Yulwei. We hope you guys enjoyed it. We always love having you here. We'll be back next week for more VCS action to see if we get a return to normalcy or is the VCS going to continue to VCS. See you guys next week.
And this week was a little bit of a letdown. If you've watched the whole week, you get some weird matchups. Honestly, it was more exciting than we anticipated it to be because a lot of the upsets happened. But next week will not let you down. We have Flash against GAM lined up. We have a lot of important playoffs matches between the 3, 4, and 5 teams that are vying for playoffs. So tune in next week again. We will also have 2 voices, not one and a cracked voice next week, hopefully. So thank you all for watching and bearing with my voice today. I'm sorry, something hit me.
You're sick, man. It's all right. Don't apologize. You're fine.
Thanks for tuning in.
See you guys next week. We hope you enjoyed the cast.